The best way to really ensure a child's future and optimal health, both in terms of mental health and physical health, is to ensure a great early child development period. And that has to do with being able to support the child, nurture the child. The World Health Organization and UNICEF have come together with a concept of a nurturing environment. And a nurturing environment needs to include, of course, health, safety, vaccination, nutrition, and so on. But very importantly, the ability for the parents to be able to concentrate on hugging their child, giving the child tender, loving care, which will then translate into proper brain formation of the factors that make you resilient and make you resistant to mental health later on in life. So in other words, we need to concentrate on the first few years of life to be able to ensure that A, children don't get sick, have an optimal prosperity during their life course, and have optimal health, mental health into the future. And this is what we're seeing in families that are disadvantaged and children who live under these stress and disadvantages. They do have higher rates of mental illness, and it's not surprising because A, their resiliency factors have not been properly built, and secondarily, mechanisms that prevent them from developing mental health have not been formed properly. Examples of stresses, toxic stress in families are manifold. The first one is poverty, obviously, but it's not to say that poverty can cause issues. If a parent is not stressed otherwise, and there's a lot of people tending to the child will do well. But there are other factors. For example, going to a new home, stressing, being displaced in wars and so on, living with violence, domestic violence, drug abuse, food insecurity because you're poor, and those stressors. So there are a multitude of things that will stress a mother, a father, parents for that matter, that will be translated into the child, and that toxic stress, regardless of the cause, will cause negative outcomes in the future. I think that United Way can play an important role in being able to really spread the message that people are not aware of. What happens early in life can be translated many years later down the road with illness and mental health and so on. I think that's the key message. And I think that if people can donate to United Way, and United Way works with the resources that support the early child development years, you will be investing in a lifetime of health and wellness and prosperity in these children.